Shopify's silent assassination of traditional web developers. In 2004, a frustrated snowboard shop owner named Tobias Lütke faced a problem that would reshape an entire industry. He wanted to sell snowboards online, but every e-commerce solution was either prohibitively expensive or impossibly complex. The going rate for a custom e-commerce website was $50,000 minimum, required months of development, and demanded ongoing technical expertise that most small business owners simply didn't possess. Traditional web development agencies held the keys to online commerce, charging premium rates for what amounted to digital gatekeeping. Lütke, armed with programming skills and mounting frustration, decided to build his own solution. What started as a simple tool to sell snowboards would become the weapon that silently assassinated an entire profession. By 2023, Shopify had democratized e-commerce to such an extent that what once required teams of developers, months of coding, and enterprise-level budgets could be accomplished by a coffee shop owner over a weekend using drag-and-drop tools. The traditional web development ecosystem of the early 2000s was a fortress of complexity that developers had spent decades constructing. Building an e-commerce website required mastery of multiple programming languages, database management, payment gateway integration, security protocols, and server architecture. A typical project involved PHP or ASP.NET backend development, MySQL or SQL Server database design, HTML and CSS for front-end presentation, JavaScript for interactivity, and intricate knowledge of payment processing APIs from companies like PayPal and Authorize.net. Development agencies charged between $50,000 and $200,000 for comprehensive e-commerce solutions, with timeline estimates ranging from 3 to 12 months. The barrier to entry wasn't just financial, but technical, creating a thriving ecosystem where web developers commanded premium rates and maintained long-term client relationships through ongoing maintenance contracts. Small businesses were effectively locked out of sophisticated online commerce, forced to choose between expensive custom solutions or primitive, template-based alternatives that offered little functionality and even less flexibility. When Shopify launched in 2006, it appeared to be just another e-commerce platform, but its underlying philosophy would prove revolutionary. Unlike traditional solutions that required technical expertise, Shopify introduced the concept of commerce as a service, where the complexity of online retail was abstracted away behind an intuitive interface. The platform handled hosting, security, payment processing, inventory management, and mobile optimization automatically, removing the need for specialized development knowledge. More crucially, Shopify introduced a theme system that allowed users to achieve professional-looking stores without writing a single line of code. The monthly subscription model, starting at $29, represented a paradigm shift from the capital-intensive custom development approach to an operational expense that any business could manage. By 2008, Shopify had processed $10 million in sales for its merchants, demonstrating that non-technical users could successfully operate sophisticated e-commerce operations without developer intervention. The platform's assault on traditional web development accelerated through strategic feature expansion and ecosystem development. Shopify introduced the App Store in 2009, creating a marketplace where third-party developers could build functionality that merchants could install with a single click. This effectively commoditized custom development work, as specialized features that once required months of coding became purchasable applications costing $50 to $100 monthly. The Shopify Partner Program recruited web developers and agencies, essentially converting them from custom solution providers into Shopify implementation specialists, dramatically reducing their billing rates and project complexity. By 2012, Shopify had processed over $1 billion in merchant sales, proving that the platform could handle enterprise-level traffic and transactions. The introduction of Shopify Plus in 2014 targeted large enterprises with features like advanced automation and dedicated support, directly competing with custom enterprise solutions that typically cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The numbers tell the story of an industry in rapid transformation. By 2015, Shopify powered over 300,000 businesses across 150 countries, representing merchant stores that would have traditionally required individual custom development projects. The platform's gross merchandise volume reached $15 billion in 2016, indicating that millions of transactions were flowing through standardized systems rather than custom-coded solutions. Traditional web development agencies began reporting significant revenue declines in their e-commerce divisions, with many pivoting to Shopify customization services at dramatically reduced rates. A custom e-commerce project that once generated $50,000 in revenue for a development agency was replaced by Shopify setup and customization work worth perhaps $5,000. The ripple effect extended beyond direct e-commerce development, as the success of Shopify's model inspired similar platforms across other industries, from restaurant websites to booking systems, each further eroding the market for custom development work. Shopify's technological evolution continued to eliminate specialized development niches. The introduction of Shopify scripts in 2016 allowed merchants to customize checkout processes without back-end programming knowledge. Shopify Flow, launched in 2017, enabled complex business process automation through visual workflow builders, replacing custom integration work that traditionally required API programming expertise. The platform's headless commerce capabilities, introduced through Shopify Plus, allowed developers to use modern front-end frameworks while leveraging Shopify's back-end infrastructure, effectively reducing complex full-stack projects to front-end development work. Mobile optimization, once a specialized field requiring responsive design expertise and mobile-specific programming, became automatic across all Shopify themes. The platform's built-in SEO features, automated sitemap generation, and integrated analytics eliminated entire categories of specialized web development services that agencies had previously sold as add-on offerings. The massacre of traditional web development jobs accelerated through the late 2010s as Shopify's market penetration deepened. By 2018, the platform powered over 800,000 businesses with gross merchandise volume exceeding $40 billion annually. Each of these businesses represented a potential custom development project that was instead handled through Shopify's standardized system. Employment data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that while overall web development employment continued growing, specialization in e-commerce development declined significantly as businesses migrated to platform solutions. Freelance development platforms like Upwork and Freelancer reported dramatic price compression in e-commerce project rates, with typical project values falling from tens of thousands to hundreds of dollars as clients sought Shopify setup assistance rather than custom development. The average timeline for launching an e-commerce business dropped from months to days, with many Shopify stores going live within 24 hours of initial setup. The COVID-19 pandemic of 2020 delivered the final blow to traditional e-commerce development as businesses desperately needed online presence immediately rather than after months of development cycles. Shopify reported that new store creation rates increased by 62% during the early months of the pandemic, with over 50 new businesses joining the platform daily. The platform processed over $100 billion in gross merchandise volume in 2020, representing an ecosystem of commerce that would have required hundreds of thousands of custom development projects under the traditional model. Many established web development agencies reported losing 80% or more of their e-commerce revenue as clients abandoned custom projects in favor of immediate Shopify deployments. The platform's introduction of local delivery and curbside pickup features, rolled out within weeks of pandemic lockdowns, demonstrated the speed advantage of centralized platform development over custom solutions that would have taken individual developers months to implement. Shopify's dominance reached unprecedented levels by 2023, with the platform powering over 2 million businesses worldwide and processing more than $197 billion in gross merchandise volume annually. The company's market capitalization exceeded $100 billion, making it more valuable than many traditional technology companies and retail giants combined. The platform's ecosystem included over 8,000 apps and themes, representing a complete alternative to custom development for virtually any e-commerce requirement. Educational institutions began removing specialized e-commerce development courses from their curricula, recognizing that the market for these skills had largely evaporated. Industry surveys indicated that over 90% of small to medium-sized businesses chose platform solutions over custom development when launching online stores, with cost and speed being the primary factors. The few remaining custom e-commerce projects were primarily enterprise-level implementations, requiring specific integrations or compliance requirements that platforms couldn't accommodate. The silent assassination was complete. An entire category of web development work had been systematically eliminated, not through dramatic technological disruption, but through relentless simplification and democratization. Shopify had transformed e-commerce from a technical specialty, requiring years of education and experience, into a commodity service that any entrepreneur could master over a weekend. The millions of hours that developers once spent building shopping carts, payment systems, and inventory management interfaces had been replaced by drag-and-drop simplicity and monthly subscription fees. While web development as a profession survived, it had been fundamentally reshaped, with developers forced to adapt to a world where complex technical implementation had given way to creative customization and marketing optimization. The snowboard shop owner who couldn't find an affordable way to sell online had ultimately created a solution so effective that it eliminated the very problem that had inspired its creation, along with an entire industry of professionals who had previously been essential to solving it.